Hey fam, welcome back from the holidays. I hope y'all got like good presents like alpha duels or like a piece of power or maybe like 20 pairs of socks. You know, everybody needs socks. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I used to do these monthly reports talking about the trends and changes in our format. So this is gonna cover things that I've covered there before, except it's gonna focus on decks. So I'm highlighting decks of 2020 that I feel have cultural or like historical significance in our format, like decks that have changed the way or changed the way people have brewed, or decks that have made like a big impact in our format. That's what I'm gonna talk about. It's not really just about like sheer power level. Some of the decks I'm gonna show aren't the strongest decks of 2020, so don't look at it like that. Think about or look at it like these are decks that had some sort of social or like strategic change within that made impact in the way that people brewed decks and stuff. Also, if I don't highlight your deck, it's because I hate you personally and I don't like your deck, so that's why. Just kidding. So let's go do the thing. Let's do the thing. Sushi Hulk. For those who are new to the format post April 2020, Sushi Hulk was the apex predator of cEDH. If you were brewing in cEDH, you had to be aware of Sushi Hulk's instant win. With just a low cost of 1 blue-black, you can cast Flash, putting Protean Hulk onto the battlefield from hand. Protean Hulk dies from Flash, and its death trigger finds Spellseeker and Thassa's Orb. Then, using Spellseeker's ETB, you find the modded Consultation and cast it in response to Oracle's ETB trigger. So why is Sushi Hulk one of the top decks of 2020? Well, it's more than being the strongest deck of the format. 3 years ago in 2017, Protean Hulk was unbanned and Timna Thrasios' Flash Hulk came to dominate the meta, with Breakfast Hulk being the primary list of 2017. In 2018, Hulk started to diversify with Shuffle Hulk by Sick Robot, Jump Hulk and Sacred Hulk by Pongo, and Sigil Hulk with Shaper in 2019. There's no other deck I know that had this many eyes from the community. With a solid foundation in time, Hulk decks were designed to beat a variety of stacks pieces or awkward situations, such as having a combo piece in hand when it needs to be in the graveyard. The community even explored new deck building principles, like maximizing card quality by minimizing combo pieces to just essentials, instead of playing as many win cons as possible. While it may seem like these are progressive iterations of a deck, each variation was unique. For example, in the Time Twisted tournament of 2019, every variation of Hulk was played, including Kenrith Hulk. The significance of Sushi Hulk in cEDH is not just increasing the power of one of the strongest archetypes in the format, but Sushi Hulk consolidated all these branches of Flash Hulk under one unified Hulk core. The fact that Sushi came in and unified the Sea of Hulks makes it a culturally significant moment in our history. Unfortunately, this version of the deck had a lifespan of only 4 months before Flash was born, opening the format to a new generation of decks. This leads me into the next deck of the year, Paco Halden. It may seem like a strange follow-up to the Titan that is Flash Hulk, but Paco and Halden's popularity and success is directly tied to the Flash ban. You see, 9 days before the Flash ban, Ikoria was released to the public, bringing a ton of viable partners and commanders to the format, including staples like Fierce Guardianship, Deflecting Swat, and Deadly Rock. Flash was banned, and the community took this as an opportunity to brew to their heart's desire. Without the fear of a turn 2 or turn 1 Flash Hulk winning the game on the spot, players took this as an opportunity to play slower mid-range decks. During this time, Paco Halden became the predator of fair decks. Not only is this pair one of the first true tempo decks of the format, Paco Halden's rise to popularity came as a response to its success in fighting fair fringe decks fresh from Flash's ban. Paco Halden isn't the only significant commander of 2020 from Ikoria. Actually, there's quite a few. Winota. Ikoria didn't just give us a great tempo deck, it also gave us a competitively valuable Boros aggro stacks deck. By getting humans onto the battlefield from the top 6 cards of your deck, Winota uniquely addresses the color pair's weakness in card and mana advantage. Winota also addresses a common weakness in stacks decks, the tension between choosing to disrupt the board to give yourself time, or forwarding your own game plan by playing out your combo pieces. Winota is able to deliver on both plans, giving you time to find and execute your own combo, such as Kiki Jiki and Zealous Conscripts, or Snoop Lines. So far in the history of cEDH, I don't believe we've had a serious Boros contender before. The last time I can remember a Boros deck was the community brew for Depala. That's kind of a meme. As a pioneer for Boros and aggro and cEDH, I feel like Winota deserves a spot as deck of the year. Kinnan. We're not done with Ikoria yet because the set brought a ton of seriously competitive commanders. We have Paco Halden, Winota, Rael, Badrock, Tayum, Umori, Luris, Braun Shabraz, Kalamax, Ukima and the Green Guy. But out of all of these commanders, Kinnan prevailed in popularity consistently till the end of the year. Kinnan's static ability of doubling all of your mana makes it such a uniquely fast deck in Simic, and we saw how powerful Kinnan was under Tsunami's master piloting as champion of Oktoberfest. While not as powerful as the latest iteration of decks from Commander Legends, Kinnan has persisted through the entire year since his initial appearance, and it's his persistence that earns him a spot as top deck of 2020. Are we done with Ikoria yet? Nope. As the final deck of the year from Ikoria, I'd like to introduce a companion. You know it and love it, it's Zirda. While not technically a commander from Ikoria, Zirda gave a unique advantage to a rising archetype of this year, Evolution. Championed by Alton, Hire, Okami, and popularized by Ian, this archetype is an evolution of Blue Pot that aims to reward patience with the deck's inherent ability in grinding up value. The archetype is usually helmed by Thrasios Brustarl or Kenrick. Using cards like Training Grounds, Biomancer's Familiar, and Seafoam Muse, you can imagine how easy it is to sit back and grind out a table using your commander's activated abilities. Zirda empowered the deck with yet another cost reducer, but also serves as a key piece to infinite mana with Basalt or Grim Monolith, and eventually, thanks to Jumpstart, Emil. While the companion rules change in June may have hindered Zirda and gave way to Kenrith Evolution, the importance of Evolution is how it promoted adaptive and layered approaches to deck building. Much like Shuffle Hulk was streamlined to reduce the amount of dead cards in the list, Evolution carried the same ethos and inspired brewers to do the same, but the format may not always reward patience. 2 months after Ikoria's release, the meta was unshaped and undefined. In the cEDH metagame report of June, the data showed Tymna Thrasios was no longer the top pair with a win rate of only 15%. We can attribute to the archetype floundering in the absence of its original compact win con, along with the lack in access to the now critical red staples like Dockside Extortionist and Underworld Breach. However, the star of the report would mark the return of an old archetype with an impressive win rate of 70 to 80% of its matches, Golos Storm and the resurgence of Turbo Ad Nauseam. Using Golos to find Boseiju, this 5-color Storm deck was streamlined to quickly cast a protected Ad Nauseam to draw enough compact win cons to combo off. Combos included Angel's Grace into a Sickening Dreams, Praetor's Grasp for a Thassa's Oracle, Isochron Scepter and Dramatic Reversal to cast your deck off Golos, or Underworld Range combos. Unlike the Hulk decks of old, we can see this list wants to increase its win con density to maximize the chances of a successful Adnos. This incredibly fast deck would reset the clock of cEDH. However, there was an inherent weakness of the deck, its lack of card advantage in the command zone. Disruption to its mana sources early on in the game to slow down Golos or Adnos itself often bought the table enough time for other decks to win, as the lack of card advantage meant the deck lost its ideal window with every passing round. This would quickly be solved by another Turbo Nos deck, Blue Farm. I know a lot of you know this deck by now, but did you realize Blue Farm was actually created in 2018? Using the pair popularized by Shaper's Opus Thief, Tymna Crom became the new top partner pair of cEDH. Initially overshadowed by Sushi Hulk on the release of Theros Beyond Death, development of Underworld Breach lands this year, such as Intuition, gave way to optimizing Blue Farm's access of red. The focus on Dockside also brought in Snap and Phantasmal Image, and Core Set 2021's Appearing to the Abyss just gave Blue Farm another powerful payoff to strive for. With Blue Farm, you have the speed of a Turbo Nos list without losing the ability to play a longer game, thanks to two of the strongest card advantage engines, Tymna and Crom. The pairing of Tymna Crom also provides new avenues in the mulligan process. While Golos desperately needed tutors along with mana to guarantee an Adnos, Blue Farm can keep hands of just fast mana and grind its way into the game. Much like mid-range Ad Nauseam decks of old, a turn 1 Crom or Tymna was a very keepable hand. In Turbo Nos mirrors, Timnacrom lets you play similarly to Hulk mirrors, where you rely on your commanders to grind the table for a safer win. Blue Farm is the deck to beat of 2020. There is one last deck of 2020 I'd like to end the year with. Roger Silas Turbo Nos. If Blue Farm is too slow for you, now there is a new Turbo Nozzlers that can go faster than the rest. Beyond Jeweled Lotus, Jessica's Will, Hull Breacher, and Opposition Agent, Rograk was the star of Commander Legends. Being the first zero-cost legend and a red partner no less, Roger took the benchmark set by Golos in summer and cut that in half. Roger made Turbo Nos mulligans a breeze. He enables farm rituals like Calling the Weak and Inferno Plunge, Mox Amber became a Mox Ruby, and you can even use cards like Springleaf Drum or Paradise Mantle to turn Roger into a dork. No longer did you have to worry about having a Memnite in hand. All you need was a ritual, a tutor, or a payoff like Adnos. While Rograk may not have the unifying ability of Thassa's Oracle back in the Fish Hulk era of spring 2020, Roger serves as a reminder of the format's speed and efficiency, closing 2020 with the threat of an early win, much like how the year started. I'm back. So I hope that was interesting. If you want any of the deck lists if you want any of the deck lists, they're all down below in the description box. Description below. Is it a box? I don't really know. Except for one deck, Blue Farm. You can't get Blue Farm. Someone deleted off the deck list database. I'm not gonna say who. Turn off straw. But anyways, I think 2020 was like a great year for cEDH. And the year of Commander was pretty successful. Like if you look at Ikoria, like all the different commanders that we got to play with, and all the different cards that we got, maybe things are a little more homogenized than I'd like, but I think the meta is still like very diverse, and like there's a lot of different things you can do now, especially with the Commander Legends commanders. But from that perspective, I think like 2020 was really great. I hope that there will be more new cards that will help diversify the meta even more without invalidating current decks. So like, you know, it'd be great if I can just play Sisay the way it is for like another month or two, you know, instead of like changing it every like half a month. That'd be great. I would really like that. That'd be kind of cool. Please, Gavin, don't print another opposition agent. I can't handle it. Thanks everyone who has supported me like this year across all the different social media platforms. Like kind of crazy how I started on Instagram, and then I'm on YouTube, and I'm also on Twitter. Like if you like seeing me dunk on Brayden 24/7, like that's where you want to be. You want to be on Twitter to see that. But yeah, thanks for all your support helping me. Thanks for all your support. I'm gonna try to make 2021 even better with like higher production values and like even more memeier content. We'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video now. See you next year. Bye-bye.